What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today, I'm coming back at you live from my bathroom, as it is the best lighting in my house for whatever reason. And today, I want to talk about my 100 hours in dreaming Spanish. So, I've been doing Spanish for a little bit now. I feel like this video could perhaps attract audience members that have not watched my channel for a long time, just based on kind of the generalization of the 100 hours in dreaming Spanish. Dreaming Spanish is big. People look up reviews and kind of updates and progress all the time. So just to give you a little backstory if you are new here, I have studied Spanish off and on for a long time. If you ask me how I've learned Spanish to this point, I don't know if I can tell you, because I've never finished a Duolingo. I've never finished a Busu. I've never done flashcards. I've never done any of that stuff, but I've had exposure to it. And I mean, I'm okay. The biggest issue that I have, obviously, my vocabulary is very limited, and hearing natives speak, I can get very confused and things like that. I wish I could tell you what I did up to this point outside of watching TV and stuff, but that's it. I guess because of the vocabulary being so similar to English in a lot of aspects, that probably helped me out a lot. Earlier this year, I was in Ecuador. I got by pretty much not just fine. There was definitely some struggles with listening, but I got by. If they spoke too fast, I would get a little confused. And then my vocabulary for output is very, very limited. So what I could say, I still, I could get points across. I was on a boat for an hour, had a conversation with people that did not speak English, and I made it, but it was very hard. And so I wanted to get. And earlier this year, I decided that I wanted to get my Spanish. I don't want to be just okay. I wanted to get better. So I used Dreaming Spanish last November for the first, or for a couple of months, November, December. I acclimated perhaps 60-ish hours, 65, I don't know, somewhere around in there. And then in November of this year is when I decided to fully jump back into it, because I don't want to be okay at Spanish. I want to be good at it. And now I'm at a level with my Spanish, I don't need resources. Like, I can watch content and learn, especially if it's comprehensible the way that Dreaming Spanish is. And so that's kind of where we're at. I just passed 100 hours. I'm actually almost at 105 now, just since yesterday, because I've been just watching stuff and it's easy for me to watch. But I will say that a couple of things that I've noticed is that, one, my ability to pick up things in context is increased drastically, which I guess is kind of the point of the program. But being able to pick up stuff in context is great. There's words that I know in Spanish that I don't know in English. Like, I could describe them in English, but I don't know what the words are. Like, for example, the little pieces that hang on the rock wall that you use to climb up. I know that Pablo called them, I believe it was pesos. So I know the Spanish word for some things that I don't know for English, which is kind of a cool feeling. Spanish words do come to me somewhat regularly, depending on what it is, obviously, depending on my vocabulary. And that's awesome. That's really, really good. Now, it's not like I'm getting 10 hours a day, so my brain is just flooded with Spanish. And you can do the math. I started in November, and I've got around 40 hours since then. We're clear. I mean, not even an hour a day, which I would like to up that, but on weekends, my son's not in school, and I generally enjoy hanging out with him. And also, I don't do as much because I spent several years kind of doing this whole immersion thing and doing 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. But I like stuff. My last video, I talked about how I enjoy native content, and it's really helped me keep motivated and stay same. I've been playing the Harry Potter game. I've been watching TV in English, which is something I've not done for 2.5 years. And so that feels really, really good. But I don't count hours in Dreaming Spanish. I'm sorry, I don't count hours outside of Dreaming Spanish. I just don't. I like Dreaming Spanish for what it is, and I just kind of keep it there. I had watched a bunch of super beginner videos when I first started, because one thing I noticed when I started last November is my comprehension of them of hearing someone speak is really, really bad. But now, and I know it's over a year and 100 hours, but especially in the last 40, with starting back and just having it regularly, and also not watching super beginner content, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I've been watching beginner and some intermediate stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I watch when I'm watching it that And honestly, for the most part, on any beginner video, it's not a translation in my head. I just know what's going on. Like I said, I'm kind of at a weird point. This 100-hour update might not be great for some people because it's not 100 hours as a beginner. This is kind of fine tuning my Spanish that I, again, have no clue how I've learned to this point. And so being able to watch the video and see people speaking, obviously the videos where they're drawing is a completely different story because you've got the pictures going on there. But even in the intermediate videos, there's some stuff. I don't know. It's just there. I guess the biggest way to explain it would be what I know. I know great. And then if I hear a word and I don't know it, it's not because I'm like, oh, let me think of the meaning of that. It's just I've not been exposed to it or enough or anything like that. And so being able to listen to the stuff and feel very motivated because I'm not translating. I'm just listening. No matter what teacher I'm listening to, I'm just listening and just I don't know. It's just internalizing it. So I still go through a lot of the beginner videos because honestly, a lot of the content is great and it's kind of refreshing some perhaps dormant vocabulary and things like that. But overall, mostly beginner, some intermediate. Beginner, I would say it's solid 95 to 99% comprehension ratio, and I would say probably just as much as far as just internalized, just as they're speaking. I hear it like they're speaking English. And then with intermediates, that probably drops to around 70. I still get the gist of it, which is honestly super rewarding. And I've noticed that I can do that with a lot of Spanish content. Now, I've not watched like Money Heist or any of that stuff to really test the waters as to where I'm at, but I'm also not concerned about that right now. I just want to get better at Spanish, and so that's why I'm doing a lot of comprehensible input. I do like Andrea, one of the teachers. I do watch her YouTube channel, and I noticed that a lot of her videos, probably a majority of them, generally speaking, I can follow along with what's going on. I may not get the little nuances or perhaps these little subtle things that might specifically specify a thing, but the gist of it, I know what's going on and I can follow along. And that's just a great feeling because that's not catered to someone learning Spanish. That's just Andrea using her platform, her channel to make content for a Spanish audience. So that's really rewarding. That feels super good. But yeah, I mean, I've had several dreams in Spanish before, but that happened even last November when I started it. The biggest thing is I'm not gonna stop doing it now. And I've set realistic goals. I'm not trying to hit, 1,000 hours watched by March. You know what I mean? Because there's just too much stuff I like to do. As a matter of fact, when I finish recording this video and uploading it, I'm gonna go play Harry Potter for a while. But I'm at a point where I'm happy with what I'm doing, and that's something that I've struggled with for a long time is being happy in language learning. And this is it. I'm super happy. My goal is basically an hour and 10 minutes a day because my goal is by the end of January to be at 150 hours. That's an hour and 10 minutes a day. I don't think that that's too much to ask for. An hour a day, that's not too much to ask for. And maybe I'll do more. Maybe I'll get there before, but I'm honestly not concerned about it. I feel like that's reasonable because there's some days that I'm going to do more, some days that I'll do less, especially with the holidays literally happening right now. I think that that's a pretty solid goal. So, if you have any questions, let me know down below. I'll do more updates about Spanish. Like I said, the 100-hour mark is kind of a weird one because I'm not coming in as a complete beginner. I'm not coming in as a person who knew zero Spanish. I'm literally using Dreaming Spanish to try to help myself get better and be able to understand because I want to understand these people when they speak. I want to be able to understand people, when they're telling me specific thing. Like, so it's just something I got to get better on. But anyway, I hope this kind of does something for you guys. It's motivating. It's super motivating. I wish I could tell you how I learned Spanish up to this point, but I honestly can't. Maybe I'll try to make a video about it one day. But anyway, thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Hopefully, like I said, this can help you stay motivated and things like that because I do genuinely see the value of this program. But maybe I'm a unique study case, maybe being able to see it from a perspective of like, well, can it benefit someone who's like perhaps an intermediate, I'm not an intermediate speaker, but perhaps an intermediate level understander especially when you're reading or something, but you just want to fine tune that hearing. And maybe I'm a great example of that. I don't know. So, but yes, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.